Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. We are back in the shop going through things after our weekend at New Smyrna Speedway. We learned so much about this truck and that track over the last couple of days. It's been awesome, super valuable information to learn. Now we're going through and fixing the things we need to fix to hopefully be better off for next time. We're racing at Auburndale this coming weekend, so we're going to be getting ready for that. We've got to get the truck switched over to its short track setup, and we got a couple of repairs to do after last weekend. So let me show you what we got going on.
So as you can see, we have completely torn apart the front end on the car. Everything's out, the control arms, the spindle. It really started because we knew we had to replace brakes. We found that the brake rotors were uneven and the pads were worn. So okay, we needed to do brakes. And I figured as long as we were going in there, we also had some new control arm parts that we were hoping to install. So why not just do it all at once? So everything came out. And we're just making sure everything lines up, and then we'll put it back together. Going to give us good brakes, going to give us a little better control on our front end geometry for turning in.
We've also got the header off here. If you remember from the race on Saturday, I was having all sorts of popping and sputtering noises coming out of the front of this thing, and we figured out why. When we got back from the track and unloaded the truck, the header was broken. There's this piece of the header was just laying on the frame. You can see here where it broke. So it was just shooting all the exhaust right out of here, and that's why I was hearing those noises. So it's always good when you can find an explanation for the noises we were having. And that the grinding noise in the rear end we showed before the race was the right rear brake pad rubbing on the caliper. So that's what all that vibration I was feeling, all the sounds we heard coming from the rear end, that's what all that was. So basically, we're happy that we figured out what all the problems were, and now we know how to fix it. So hopefully there's no more noises or weird vibrations. So these are the brake pads we pulled out of the rear end of the truck. And as you can see, there is not much left to these things. So it is absolutely time to replace these. And we already had some spares for the front anyway. So we're just going to do new pads all the way around. It's now Thursday. We've got most of our parts in the mail. They all kind of got here right at the right time. We were eating lunch and we got all the parts we needed, so that was very convenient. Now we get to put it all back together. You can see the front end here is still pretty torn apart. Dad's over here working on the right front right now, getting everything put back together. I'm about to go underneath and do a little bit of securing of the exhaust. We were able to get the rear end gear changed out pretty easily the other day, so we now have our quarter-mile gear in the truck. There's not a whole lot else to do after we get the front end back together. A couple little things on the list, check all the fluids, everything like that. The big thing we need to do after we get it back on the ground is get it on the scales and make sure we're in the right area, because last time we went to Auburndale we were not even close. So we're going to make sure we are in a little bit better situation before we show up this time, now that we actually have scales. Speaking of going to Auburndale, we are racing there this weekend, but we do get some track time tomorrow night. They're having a practice session for us. We get to get on the track for a few hours tomorrow night. Hopefully that's going to give me the experience I need to be competitive and make sure we have the setup right, since the data from last time is pretty much useless considering how far off the truck was. So going to be very valuable to get out on the track tomorrow and get a good feel for everything. So we're going to keep grinding away here and get this thing put back together and make sure we're ready for that. One of the challenges of running between these two different tracks is having to use two different types of tires. They use American Racers at Auburndale and they use Hoosiers at New Smyrna. So now I get to go through all these tires, see which ones have rims on them, and then see which ones have enough life left in them to get us through a weekend, and which ones are going to be the right size, because you know you have to get the rights and the lefts and the fronts, all different sizes have to be right, otherwise the setup's not correct. So let's dive in and go through this mountain of tires here and see if we can find something that's going to work for us. So it turns out we don't have a whole lot of choice on tires here. This is kind of what we have, so it's what we're going to use for the weekend. We got one over there that's going to make a decent right rear. We're going to try and grow this one into a right front, and then we'll pick through these to see which left sides we're going to use to make sure we have the right stagger. But that's okay, we're just learning. No point in wasting a whole bunch of money on new tires when we're just getting everything figured out. So once we get a little bit of speed, we'll get some new tires on and hopefully make us even faster from there. I'm going to take a quick break here from putting things back together to remind you guys that there is a giveaway coming at 500 subscribers. We're getting very close at this point, so make sure you're subscribing now, because we're going to be doing a giveaway real soon. You're going to get to add your name to the list of names over here on the truck. we're going to give you a t-shirt. We got some stickers. And thanks to our friends over at Fleming Family Racing, we're going to be giving away some Amazon gift cards too. So quite the nice little prize package here. All you have to do is subscribe. It's easy. And once we get to 500, I'll make a video announcing how you can enter to win. It's going to be super, super easy. It's probably just going to be commenting on a video or something. So if you want a chance at getting some cool prizes for not a whole lot of effort, make sure you subscribe. Well, look at that. It's back on its own feet. Well, kind of. It's on the jack stand, but we are pretty much at the point where we're ready to scale it, but we're going to stop working for the day. We're just going to scale it in the morning, pack up, and then go to the track. So we're calling it here for a day. I didn't film a whole lot of the little stuff because, I mean, who really wants to watch us fill up differential fluid and put tires on and stuff? We're happy with the progress we made, though. We've got it back to a point where it's pretty much ready to go. Everything's put back together that we took apart, and we learned a lot about what was going on in there. We got the brakes fixed. I'm pretty sure they feel really good in the truck, so hopefully that problem is gone. It's not going to come back. It's just a growing pain of a new vehicle, and you know, we can run it like this and be good to go for quite a while and not have to be tearing it apart this deep every week. We're hoping to get it to a point where it's really easy to convert it from the half mile over to the quarter mile, just doing stuff like changing the gear, maybe, you know, messing with the crossweight a little bit, but hopefully we're at a point where that's not going to be too difficult in the future. Hopefully we're at a point where it's going to run good this weekend at the quarter mile, and we'll be a little bit more competitive maybe than we were at New Smyrna. Hopefully, we'll see. I mean, it's still a learning experience. I'm just excited to be there and be out on a new track, get the feel of it. I know it's a lot different than what I'm used to, so as long as we can learn a lot, this will be a successful weekend. So we're going to get everything cleaned up here, closed up for the night, and we are going to come back in the morning and get ready to go. So the next video we have will be from practice tomorrow night, and hopefully it's going to go a lot better than the last practice we had. So thank you for watching. Definitely check out our buddy Turlo's Garage. I'm rocking his shirt here. He's one of our biggest supporters out there, so thank you for all your support. Go check out his channel if you're into car channels. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you at the track.